Guys, what are the Jets doing? And how are the Niners going to beat the Chiefs this weekend?
And who is Jesus' dad?
Welcome in, everybody. I'm Seth Floyd Hansen. This is the Seth Floyd Show, and we're covering a couple things today. First, I wanted to get a quick reaction. I know I'm a little bit late, but I wanted to get a quick reaction to the Devante Adams, Amari Cooper trades, and then I'm going to talk a little Niners Chiefs for you. I'm not sure if I'm looking forward to that game. I haven't decided yet, but by the end of the video, I'll have a decision. Here we go, guys. What are the Jets doing? Now, on the surface with the Jets, like, if you just looked at their roster and you didn't know anything else about the team and like what's going on with them, you might feel like, oh, like this is a good move. Because Devante Adams makes them better. I'm not saying he doesn't make them better, but like it's clear that they have no real direction. They have no real solutions to anything. The organization is a mess. It's a train wreck. Okay, you've got them firing Robert Saleh when the defense isn't the problem. I understand he's probably not the best head coach, but you're talking about being all in this season. That's what this Devante Adams move means. And so when was the last time a team that was all in on the season fired their head coach and thinking that's going to take them to the playoffs? Like, to me, you're just creating chaos and distraction. Now, you can trade for Devante Adams, and the truth is you didn't really give up that much, a third-round pick. But what does it really do for you? Because I know they haven't scored a ton of points, but Aaron Rodgers has been balling with Garrett Wilson at least. The problem is Rodgers has been throwing interceptions. That's a big problem. But they've been able to like move the ball, and if it wasn't for 2 missed field goals or Breece Hall being able to cut the freaking ball back like any good running back does, when he's streaking down the sideline, you got one guy coming on an angle. How about you just cut it back, bro? Every running back knows that that's what you do in that situation. As someone who played running back, if you were on my live show on Wednesday, you know what I'm talking about. Like, I talked about this. I played running back. Obviously, I'm not in the NFL, so I'm not as good as Breece Hall, but I'm just saying, you know, when you're streaking down the sideline, you got a guy coming over the top, just cut it back. You have all this room. That guy's going to have to flip his hips. It's going to get him off balance. You're going to either beat him to the other side, or you cut it back, he stumbles a little bit, and then you cut back around him. Anyway, if any of those things happen, or they just make some field goals, they probably win that game, and you feel a lot different. I just don't know that. I don't know what does the ceiling now with Devante Adams? Because I'm looking at this team before Devante Adams, and I'm thinking they're probably not a playoff team. Maybe. The AFC is not as good. Even though the best quarterbacks are in the AFC, it's not as deep. And so for the Jets, like to be a 7 seed, maybe a 6 seed, like that is on the realm of it's in the realm of possibilities. The Devante Adams trade just to me makes it feel like, okay, you went from being a non-playoff team most likely to now like maybe you are a playoff team. But do I think you're going to win a playoff game? Probably not. And also your 2 players that you're relying on are Aaron Rodgers, who's 40, and now Devante Adams. So maybe Devante Adams, who's 31, maybe Devante makes Aaron come back for another year. I just feel like it's just a wreck. Maybe they're happy. Maybe Woody Johnson's thing is I have to make the playoffs. If we can just make the playoffs, fine. We'll figure out the rest later. Like, fine. But they're just, you guys can agree, they're a mess, top to bottom. And I'm not a Jets fan, but I'm rooting for the Jets. You think I don't want to watch a Aaron Rodgers playoff game in prime time? Jets, Devante Adams, Garrett Wilson, Breece Hall, Sauce Gardner against like the Ravens, round 1, Saturday night. Like, sign me up. I want that more than anything. I love it when teams that have not been in the playoffs, especially teams with big brands like the Jets, make the playoffs, which they haven't done in forever. Like, sign me up for that. But I'm just being real, like they have no direction. Woody Johnson has no idea what he's doing. I'm not saying Robert Saleh was the answer, but if you're a team that's all in, you're going to fire Robert Saleh, then trade for a 31-year-old receiver who I know has great chemistry with Aaron Rodgers, but this doesn't make them a Super Bowl contender. Maybe it's just making the playoffs. That's fine. I think they're a mess. I think they're an absolute mess. On the flip side, the Amari Cooper trade, fantastic trade. I love that trade. Amari Cooper's a little younger. I think he's 29. But regardless, like, so the Jets traded for Devante in a move that makes them feel like, Devante, we want you to come in and save our season. The Bills trade for Amari Cooper, and they're not asking Amari Cooper to be their savior. They're asking Amari Cooper, like, hey, we just need to jumpstart the offense a little bit. I don't need you to go out and catch 15 balls a game. I need 6 or 7 catches from you a game, 6 or 7 big catches from you a game, because as you watch the Bills this season, they had a slide where they lost a couple games in a row. Offensively, they're running the ball well, and Josh Allen is doing his thing. He's an incredible talent. He's just incredibly talented. But he's like lacking a guy. He's lacking a guy, okay? Because Keon Coleman's not there yet. I like Keon Coleman a lot, but he's not there yet. And Khalil Shakur has been hurt, so that's a tough thing too. So getting Amari Cooper is a huge deal. That's going to make them better. A team that is like already on the rise, that has direction, and now you add a nice piece. It's good. I think it's a great move by the Bills. I think that is going to pay big dividends, whereas the Devante trade, like, I don't know what people expect from the Devante trade. Do you expect them to be this powerhouse all of a sudden? Because they're not. They're not. I don't know. I could be wrong, but I don't think so. And now to business, to real business, everyone. This 49ers Chiefs game is going to be the end of me. I'm losing sleep. PTSD, you can definitely call it PTSD if you want, because I need the 49ers to win. I need to get over that Super Bowl loss. The 2 Super Bowl losses, I'm not over them. Have you guys seen that clip from the Office with Dwight? And he goes, will I get over it? Probably not. He goes, but life goes on. Not for me.
Will I get over it? No. But life goes on. Not for me.
That's exactly how I feel. That is 100% how I feel. I just am convinced I'm never in my lifetime. I'm only 33. Just turned 33, by the way. Your boy had a birthday. I'm just convinced I'm never going to see the 49ers win a Super Bowl in my lifetime before I die. It's really sad. That's where I'm at. But here, as I think about this Chiefs game, what's crazy is the Niners are favored by 1.5, but they're at home. And be honest, Chiefs fans, listen, you have the ultimate bragging rights, especially over me, but over the whole NFL, okay? But let's just be honest, okay? And I'm on record. If you've watched the last couple of my videos, if you watched the live stream, I am on record. I'm just convinced the Chiefs are going to win the Super Bowl this year, okay? So that's how we feel like it's going to end, okay? So whatever I say now, like, doesn't matter, right? But I'm just saying, Patrick Mahomes has not played as well this year. He has 6 touchdowns and 6 interceptions. So something is off. Maybe it's not Mahomes. Maybe it's the offense as a whole. No Rashee Rice, no Pacheco right now. Like, maybe Marquise Brown, Hollywood Brown being out, like, really hurt them. I don't know. Travis Kelce being another year older. I don't know. They have not been clicking on all cylinders. And in fact, the Chiefs, 15 straight games now, including the playoffs, the Chiefs have not scored 30 points. So, like, whatever. It doesn't. Of course, it doesn't matter, because they just keep winning and they win Super Bowls. Like, that's not what I'm saying. And what I'm saying is the Niners are in a good spot, I think, to get the Chiefs in this situation. Now, that sounds weird because the Niners are 3-3, the Chiefs are 5-0. The Niners have definitely sputtered, but I think that almost plays to their advantage a little bit, just because the Chiefs have been playing with fire. Every game the Chiefs have played this year has been a close game. Outside of that Saints game, I know the Ravens game to start, it was a big lead, but then they came back. But like, they easily could have lost to the Bengals. Okay, easily could have lost to the Chargers. Like, they've not blown anybody out. Every Chiefs game that they're favored, you almost would take the other team, like, just to cover, because they always play in these one-score games. Again, it doesn't matter because they just find ways to win. That's their superpower. But in this 49ers game, I almost feel like the pressure is off of the 49ers a little bit, just because most people don't think the Niners are going to win. Anyone I've talked to assumes the Niners are going to lose. The Chiefs are 5-0. There's always that little, like, hanging over you. What is this? This is not mistletoe. What am I trying to say? Whatever. It's like something's hanging over you when you're undefeated to keep that going. And look, the Chiefs are not going to go undefeated. Definitely not playing like this either. Whereas the Niners, they're 3-3. They got some of their mojo back last week against the Seahawks. And they're probably looking at this like, no, people, look, we're the little brother right now. No one expects us to win. like, let's just go play with our hair on fire. We're 3-3. We need this win. We feel the sense of urgency to get this win. On the flip, the Chiefs, like 5-0, they know they could lose this game, and it doesn't matter. They have set themselves up so good for the rest of the year. It doesn't matter. And I think subconsciously that gets to you a little bit. Is that wishful thinking? Yeah, there's a good chance that's wishful thinking. It's a good chance that the Chiefs are just a different animal and they're going to come out and play their best football on Sunday. I understand that. But I'm just saying, like, they're not going to go undefeated. They're not going to go undefeated. And I think this is an opportunity where you could get them. The biggest question mark, the best unit out of all, from both teams, the best unit on the field will be the Chiefs defense. Is a great defense. Spagnuolo is fantastic. He's as good as it comes. Kyle Shanahan, he's already said that the Chiefs defense, like last year in the Super Bowl, will be the best defense they see all year. He truly believes that. And so that is your biggest, like, X factor in this game, is what does Kyle Shanahan do to get over the Spagnuolo hump? Now, it's kind of crazy because, like, the last 3 times you've played the Chiefs, I'm talking 49ers, the last 3 times they've played the Chiefs, and this is going to be terrible for the narrative of Kyle Shanahan, but Kyle Shanahan has had a 10-point lead in all 3 of those games at some point. Now, when we played them in 2022, they lost that lead before halftime. They went into halftime, it was like 14-13 or 21-13, I don't know, but they were up 10-0, 13-0 at one point, and it just got away from them. And then we know the debacle in both Super Bowls. So Shanahan's thing with it's not like a Brian Flores issue. Brian Flores, when the Niners play Brian Flores, he suffocates them from start to finish. The last 3 times you've played Brian Flores, I don't know if you've had the lead. I can't even remember. I just know you've been down most of that game. When the Niners have played Steve Spagnuolo, they have found success early, and then Spagnuolo makes adjustments, and Kyle Shanahan hasn't been able to counter. That has been the story of the last 3 times they've played him, is he's been one step ahead. I have confidence that he can get it done because, as crazy as it sounds, that Super Bowl gives me confidence going forward. I know that sounds stupid, and Chiefs fans, you can be in the comments making fun of me, like, that's fine. But it gives me, because this last one felt different. And I think it's because there's no more Jimmy Garoppolo. I think Brock Purdy can be the guy that gets them over the hump this Sunday. I'm not talking winning the Super Bowl against them. If we have to face them again, it's really hard to think the Niners can beat the Chiefs in the Super Bowl. But Brock Purdy is not the reason you lost that game in the Super Bowl. Okay, you had some weird things happen. It was toe-to-toe all game, like punch for punch. At no point did the Niners feel overwhelmed until the final drive with Pat Mahomes and Pat Mahomes doing Pat Mahomes things. So I know I've been a little like unorganized in this video, but I have hope, I think, because the Super Bowl, they played them toe-to-toe. They had the lead, played toe-to-toe, were very good. Very good most of that game. You had a couple stupid turnovers that killed you, okay, in my eyes. The McCaffrey fumble in the first drive, the muff punt, of course, swung the whole game. And then Dre Greenlaw tearing his Achilles. Like, I also believe if Dre Greenlaw doesn't tear his Achilles, that game looks a lot different. Because you can now defend the middle of the field much better. That's all I could think on that last drive when we were just getting toasted over the middle of the field, is how bad we needed Dre Greenlaw. So I say all that to say this, like, I think the Niners have a good chance. I think they have a good chance. I also think Chiefs fans, if the Niners win, you know it doesn't matter. I'm not saying that the Chiefs aren't taking it serious. I'm just saying, like, you guys know, even if I pick the Niners and the Niners win, it doesn't matter. The Chiefs, fine, they'll be 5-1. They're still probably going to be the 1 seed. They're still going to be in the Super Bowl. Like, it's hard to see any of those things not happening. So whatever. I think this is a good spot for the Niners. The one thing, the biggest thing that gives me pause is the bye week thing. Now, Andy Reid, whatever, he's like 21-4 coming off the bye. I always think that's like a super, like, fine. Teams should be good off the bye. Like, I bet if you went to most head coaches that have held a job for more than 3 years, like, they have a record like that coming off the bye week. So fine. The Niners had a mini bye, and what is the point of diminishing returns? That law where, like, at some point there's only so much preparation you can do. There's only so much rest you can get before it matters. So that gives me a little pause. They had a bye, but the Niners had their mini bye. They're coming off like momentum off of that Seattle game. So it just feels like a good spot for the Niners. And the Chiefs have been playing with fire. They've won some close games like they always do, but They're not going to go undefeated. They're not going to win every single close game, I wouldn't think. Not in the regular season. They will in the playoffs, but not in the regular season. So here are my 3 keys of the game. 3 keys of the game, and then I'll give you my prediction, okay? 3 keys of the game. I wrote down red zone, freaking 49ers. Now, you fixed it in the second half of last week. I know that game last week got pretty crazy, but you have to score touchdowns in the red zone. You have to score touchdowns in the red zone. In the second half of that game, you scored 3 in the red zone. Fantastic, okay? The first half of that game, not so good. You kicked 3 field goals in the red zone. You have to find a way to get it going, whatever that means, whatever that looks like. I think it's play calling. I think it's play calling more than execution. I think in the past, they've been able to run the ball so well in the red zone. Last year, McCaffrey is an automatic 5 yards in the red zone. This year, for whatever reason, we have not gotten the push on the offensive line to be effective running the ball in the red zone, and that's what's killed us because our drop back game in the red zone is not our strength. So Kyle Shanahan, I need you to dial up some creativity in the red zone. You see these teams, the Chiefs, they're so creative in the red zone. I need some of that. Who cares if it's gimmicky little trick plays you would only run at the 5-yard line? Like, I need that. I need that in the red zone this week. You have to score touchdowns. Because, like I mentioned earlier, the Chiefs have not scored 30 points. It's a 15-game drought of them not scoring 30 points. And it hasn't mattered. Their defense is so good. But if you can get to 30 feels like a lot. I don't think the Niners are scoring 30. But if you can get to 24, you have a chance. If you can get to 28, I would feel pretty good about that, okay? But you're not going to get there kicking field goals in the red zone, okay? Please find a way to get in the red zone. Number 2, Seth's second key to the game, okay, is the mush rush, okay? The mush rush on Patrick Mahomes. I need just the same thing. It's anytime you play a quarterback, they can kill you with their legs. You have to stay disciplined in your lanes, and you want to, I don't know if you guys can see, you want to slowly collapse the pocket. It's not a bat out of hell, upfield, edge rushers. It's everyone slowly kind of collapse the pocket. Guys in the middle, get your hands up, get in Pat Mahomes' face. That's how you beat Mahomes. Now, Mahomes can still kill you in the pocket. He's like, of course, he's the best quarterback in the NFL, so he can kill you from the pocket. But where he kills you is you get undisciplined out of your lanes, and he buys time and he's looking to throw. His legs will kill you too. They'll kill you on a 3rd down. But the home run play where you get too far upfield, he rolls out to his right because a guy got out of his lane, and all of a sudden Xavier Worthy's streaking down the sideline, and Mahomes is going to put it on a dot because that's what he does. So mush rush, okay? Slowly just kind of get in his face, get your hands up, just get him a little uncomfortable, and just get him to make enough bad throws, okay? That's a lot easier said than done, but the mush rush is key. The mush rush is key, and you got to be disciplined. It takes a good, smart defensive line to be able to make it happen. I don't need dummies this game. I don't need dummies that just run 100 miles an hour off the snap of the ball. I usually love that, but in this, you have to use your head. You have to use your head and get something done. That's going to be key. If you can't get any type of mush rush, if you don't get any kind of push, Mahomes will kill you all day. I don't care who his receivers are. I don't care that they're out. He's going to kill you, okay? And lastly, my 3rd key to the game, number 3, okay? 49ers, I talked about this a little bit at the end of that Super Bowl. We got killed without Dre Greenlaw. How do you defend the middle of the field? Devondre Campbell has been not good. I'll just put it lightly. He's missing a lot of tackles. He can't cover anybody. He's like your 1990s middle linebacker. Huge guy, wants to try to play in the run, can't cover. Okay, and he's not even tackling well. So what are we doing? Please put D winners on the field, or go nickel most of the game and have whoever you're going to have, Deommodore Lenore on Travis Kelce, fine. Have a nickel on Kelce. Like, you have to cover the middle of the field. We've been getting killed in the middle of the field. And it's because it's just Devondre Campbell can't cover. It's fine. You're not a bad dude. I want to see D winners in there. I want to see Sorensen put more D winners in there. Maybe Jalen Graham, or have an extra defensive back on the field. They'll run the ball, but they're not without Pacheco, their run game is a lot different. So if you want to play nickel the whole game, it doesn't bother me at all, because I assume you can have success defending the run with an extra defensive back on the field. But defend the middle of the field, because that's where they're going to kill you. Andy Reid is looking at the tape, and he's saying, yeah, that Devondre Campbell guy is washed up. He's not very good. And that's the part of the defense that I want to attack. So Nick Sorensen, how do you stay a step ahead and make sure that he can't do that? You better have a plan. Niners are favored by 1.5. I can't go into a game. I can't go into a game expecting the 49ers to lose. It's just so hard for me. Not at this point in where they're at with their roster, their head coach. And so I'm not going to do it here. I believe that they're going to get it done. Okay. I really believe they're going to get it done. I would be huge for their mental hurdle. Okay. Mentally, like everyone talks about the 49ers back in 94 when they beat Dallas. They hadn't beaten Dallas like 3 or 4 straight games. They play them in the regular season. They beat Dallas, get over that mental hurdle, and then later in the year they play Dallas again in the NFC Championship game, and they beat them. And a lot of the players were kind of saying, yeah, that was we beat them earlier in the regular season. That was huge for our mental hurdle to get over that hump so we could take care of business in the NFC Championship game. The Niners need it. The Niners need it. I think they're going to come out and play loose with their hair on fire. I think they realize, look, we're 3-3. We just got to get a dub. We're going to play with our hair on fire. No one thinks we're going to win anyway. And I think the boys get it done. I'm going to say 28-24. 28-24. They go 4 for 4 in the red zone. They don't kick any field goals. Pat Mahomes, I think this game is going to be, they'll be up 28-21. They'll be up 28-21 with 5 minutes to go. Let's say 3 minutes to go. The Chiefs kick a field goal with 3 minutes to go, make it 28-24. Niners get the ball back, and I just think Jordan Mason is going to ice it for them. Or there'll be like a George Kittle crosser over the middle that gives them a first down and ices the game, and they're able to run out the clock. That's my official prediction, 28-24 Niners. Guys, thank you for joining. Please subscribe. You made it to the end of the video. Please subscribe to the channel. Please like the video. Please share it with your friends. I'm having a ton of fun doing this. I hope you guys are enjoying it too. Give me feedback, comments, anything. I appreciate it. Any of the engagement is good for the algorithm, but it's good for me to get better at this whole gig. You guys are awesome. Go Niners. I'm out.